Hi, I'm Chrissy White with Creating Changes Counseling, and today I'm going to talk about one of my most favorite topics ever called brain spotting. So, brain spotting is a technique that I use that really helps my clients. I've seen just amazing results. But when I say brain spotting, most people are like, what is that? I've never heard of it. So, today I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit more about what it is and what a session looks like and kind of what happens. So what brain spotting really is coordinating an eye spot, so where you're looking, with how you feel. So Dr. David Grand found that putting those two things together really make a big difference. So kind of what it would look like in a session is I would ask you to think about what you're wanting to work on. So an overwhelming emotion, trauma, something like that. And I'm going to ask you what you're noticing in your body. So what are you physically feeling? What are you emotionally feeling? We're really getting in tune with the somatic side of that, okay? Then I pull out my pointer. Sometimes I call it my magic wand because this whole thing kind of seems like magic and, very Harry Potter-like, but there's science to it. So I pull out my pointer and I'm going to say, all right, so now that you're feeling everything in your body, whether they're feeling it in their chest, their stomach, their head, wherever they're feeling it. Now I'm going to say, let's coordinate that with that eye spot. So I'm going to say, I want you to look here, here, and here. I do it much slower and more therapeutic, and kind of ask what people are thinking, or I'm sorry, what they're feeling. And a lot of times somebody will go like, oh, over here, like I really feel like more emotional, or I feel tearful. And so then we kind of move it, the pointer will move it this way, up and down. We can even move it back and forth until we find that exact eye spot. And from there, you just kind of stay on this spot and you process for the rest of the session. And it really works. I've really just seen people that are able to coordinate that eye spot while they're processing, really helps them process on this deeper level. I will go over it in a little bit, how kind of the whole science behind it works and what goes on in the brain. But that's what a session setup looks like, coordinating that eye spot with an emotion to do that deeper level of processing. But the cool thing is, in session, I have clients that will tell me everything that they're thinking or feeling or, the experiences that they're having. And then I have other clients that won't say anything. So this is also great for clients that struggle with being able to verbalize what happened or being able to effectively communicate or express that. Or if it's something that's just too personal and something that doesn't want to be shared out loud. So this can also be great for trauma or things with first responders where they feel like they can't actually say anything out loud based on confidentiality. And then, the other group of people that I have is they just kind of will twitch the whole time. And that's okay. That's that brain body connection and the body physically releasing the trauma that's stored. So brain spotting, coolest thing I've ever done. Like I said, wonderful results in my practice. But that's kind of an overview of what it will look like in session.